Indeed. We'd like to now bring up a man we know very well in this room who's now taking the very important job of Commissioner General GRA. Let's welcome Anthony Sarpong to bring some quick remarks as the guest speaker, actually. Guest speaker, Anthony Sarpong. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I think let me stand on the existing protocol so that we can save some time. And as we talk about technology, I decided that I will not come here with my the usual files you see as in those of us in public sector. So, Arcus, who presented the minister, thank you very much. I didn't bring a file, so I'm following your lead. Yes. Let me also thank KPMG and UNDP for organizing this forum and giving us the opportunity to discuss the 2026 budget. It's important that these engagements are made so that the message is carried through all of us, so that we can all get up, go out there, and just do it. Yes. So you notice that the budget is anchored on the theme resetting for growth, jobs, and economic transformation. And this is actually a lever of His Excellency, the President's vision of overall resetting the nation. And therefore, within this context, you will notice that the budget outlines a number of measures that will influence revenue mobilization, that will drive investment in various infrastructure that will propel growth, leads to job creation, and also there are certain key areas that are also covering social protection. Those are very, very fundamental key pillars that you see in the budget. And because the minister's rep has already spoken about some of these areas, and being a taxman, let me first focus on some of the key areas relating to taxation. And then towards the end, I'll bring all the other elements together. So first, in terms of the area of revenue mobilization, and Honorable Boatin just mentioned that it is about time we just do it and we in ourselves mobilize from within. So domestic revenue mobilization, if we are going to get out there and do all the nice initiatives that have been cataloged in the budget, is going to anchor on making sure that we drive growth and improvement in our domestic revenue mobilization. And that anchors the very transformation that we are looking for. Without the revenue, we will not be able to build our schools, we will not be able to build hospitals, and will not be able to provide all the essential social services. And that's where, from where I stand, I come in within the bigger umbrella of revenue mobilization. GRA's mandate is actually the tax component, which is also actually a significant component of domestic revenue mobilization. So you will see that in this particular budget, and also in the 2025 budget, government policy has been very deliberate to take steps to use tax policy to create the environment for business to grow, reduce costs, and create the opportunities. So I'll take a moment to explain some of these reforms which have been announced by the minister as far as tax revenue is concerned. So the first is the major reforms that has been announced respect to VAT. So VAT, as we all know, is a consumption tax. And the more we consume, the more we pay, the more we generate revenue. So today, if you look at Ghana's population, we are at a point where we are consuming. And as we continue to join God to procreate, we expect that the population will grow. And therefore, if the population is going to grow, we are going to eat more food, we are going to drink more, we are going to use more cars. So consumption is set to grow. And therefore, VAT, from our perspective, is a major tax type that we need to make sure that it's working and it's working for us. And if it works and actually get the way that we want, it will generate actually the needed domestic revenue that we are looking for. So part of the reforms is both structural, process, and technology-driven. So the first thing that government has proposed is, one, to lift the threshold of VAT registration from 200,000 to 750,000 Ghana cedis in respect of goods. So this actually takes away the burden of small, micro, and individual enterprises that actually struggle to be able to keep their books as far as VAT is concerned. So we are lifting this away and say, focus on your business, deliver selling. When you go above the threshold, we'll come and collect our taxes. But until you get there, just focus on your business and do. So this is a big relief. We believe that is going to support our micro enterprises to be able to focus on their businesses and do what they do best. So you have these businesses employing 5, 10, 15 people. This is about ensuring that they are focusing to grow, they are focusing on job creation. The second one is the elimination of the cascading effect. So today, the VAT that we have, you will notice that we have the levies, which is 1% COVID levy. You have the 2.5% GET fund. You have 2.5% National Health Insurance levy. Now, before you charge the VAT of 15%, you apply or you charge the VAT of 50% on these levies. So which means that you are paying tax on levies that you are paying to government. The implication is that it is a cost to business. But the worst of it was that the 6%, which was the COVID levy and the GET fund and NHIS, were not deductible. So we were actually adding 6% costs to businesses. Government policy, we are saying we are going away from that. So no cascading. Number two, you can claim the full benefit as input tax, NHIS, and the GET fund. And the next one is COVID is gone forever. So this is actually liberating the space for businesses. Your cost is going to go down. The 6% cost will go off, and therefore it allows profit to rise, all things being equal. And then, of course, overall, when you look at all of this together, the effective rate today of 21.9% reduces to what? 20%. So again, some people have said this is too small, but I challenge them. And I say that it's not too small. It's the beginning of a good work. So that 2%, which previously you can't use for consumption, is going to go back into people's pocket and wallets. And that will flow through consumption, and that will generate the expansion that we need in businesses, that will generate the expansion that we need in taxes. So please, we have reduced it, so spend more, consume more, businesses will grow, and we'll get more taxes. Yes. And then, of course, that's my the area for my brother. We've been struggling with it in terms of the VAT on exploration. We are talking about people coming to invest in the area of minerals and other extractive industries, and the key challenge has always been there's a VAT when you have to explore to find the minerals. In this reform, the VAT for exploration has been affirmed. That is no longer going to be there. So again, it's government way of saying, bring in the investment, come and explore, find the minerals, and let's grow and explore together. Because when these are turned into reality, they of course will create the jobs that we are looking for. So in all, you will notice that we're using the VAT as a key driver, the reforms, to actually create space for businesses to grow, creates opportunities to have jobs, and also as a way of transforming, because once the VAT is reformed and we generate more money, government can spend on the infrastructure projects that are outlined in the budget. Of course, the minister also talked about the fact that we are not going to stop at VAT. So in the course of 2026, we're also going to look at major reforms on the Revenue Administration and the Customs Act. Because if you look at our 3 areas of taxation in Ghana, it's VAT, it's customs, and income taxes. So 2026, we've started with the major reforms on the VAT, which we're working on with Parliament. We believe that if things goes well, Parliament will approve this. If they approve this before they rise for Christmas, then we are set to actually implement from January. And in the course of 2026, the minister will then again, under his leadership, will work on the other tax laws, which is the income tax and customs, so that in totality, we are looking at the overall reforms of the tax policies to enhance business growth and create jobs. But for 2026, again, we're looking at partially in terms of the process of the customs area. One of the major challenges we have in this country is what we call the classification and valuation of custom goods. I think the importers here, the agents here, and those who work in the border areas, you understand these terms very, very well. So classification deals with if somebody is bringing rice, are they bringing full pieces of rice or broken rice? And sometimes they are full pieces of rice and they will describe it as broken rice. If it's broken rice, you pay a lower duty, of course. So these are the issues with classification. And then it then moves into valuation. So depending upon the classification, it drives valuation. But the other components that we also don't see is country of origin. Depending upon where the goods are coming from, you get duty differential. But the worst of it, or which I also speak about, is tampering with manifest. When a ship has sailed and says, I'm carrying a 40-footer container of rice, it gets to Ghana, and somehow on the high seas is ginseng powder, which customs is seeing. So this is one area we want to revolutionize with AI. So we are going to introduce an AI automation that will mimic the very work of assessing, classification, and valuation by our officers. So let me assure my officers, the human beings are not going to go away. They are not going to go anywhere. But the AI is going to work side by side with the human beings. The beauty is that the AI will determine the duty of the product in less than 10 minutes by the time you feed it with the data. And today it takes about 30 to 1 hour for my officers to do that. So before my officers come out with the result, the AI results is standing there and waiting. And we are just checking. We've done the proof of concept of this AI. It's promising. The samples that we did showed an upside of duty values by 40 to 45%. Clap, I think. So when this works, it means that our revenue from customs is just going to go up. It will increase domestic revenue mobilization, but not so. It also gives government opportunity to rationalize. Because today the importers are saying it's too high. But if all of us are paying correctly, and there's parity. Let me quote the Gutta president, that is his word, parity, if he's listening. Joseph, Dr. Joseph, I'm quoting you here. So there's parity, it affords government to rationalize, and as we go forward, bring down some of the costs at the import. So it's not just about focusing on increasing the revenue, but also going to drive changes and reforms in the customs area. Then, of course, the minister also talked about the fact that there's an abuse of the import declaration form. That's also customs area. So we did a 5-year study, and we realized that within the 5-year study, over 45 billion USD has been moved out of the country. And when you go into it, not more than about 7 billion were genuinely connected with trade. So what happened to the rest of the money? So people go in, fill IDF forms, which shows intent to import. And therefore, they take it to the bank. The bank will transfer money as an advance for the import. The goods do not come back. The monies do not come back. So we are going to, again, invest in another technology called advanced cargo information, which is blockchain embedded. So if you apply for IDF, or the goods are coming, the blockchain will tide it. In 3 months, we'll share the information with the banking system. So we'll be able to tell whether when you send the money out, the goods came or not. And we'll definitely will come after those that are wanting in that area. So these 2 areas, we believe that the technologies we are going to employ will actually, one, help us to improve revenue, help us to rationalize the duties, and most importantly, ensure that genuine transfers that go out of this country are the genuine ones. So you notice that as a prelude to that, 2 major initiatives have already been introduced, which is announced by the Central Bank of Ghana before this budget. 1, so when you are traveling and you are carrying up to 10,000 USD equivalent freely, you don't need to tell anybody. If you are carrying more than between 10,000 and 50,000, you are required to declare it. You don't need to tell us where you got it, but you are required to declare it or to state that you are carrying above 10,000 up to 50,000. If it is above 50,000, you are required to declare it and state the source and the purpose why you are carrying above 50,000, why you're going to use it for. Otherwise, channel it through the banking system. And we are introducing, again, technology at the point. So don't think that you are just going to say, I'm carrying, I'm not carrying. The scanners are coming. So currencies you are carrying to show, the scanners are going to tell us. So it's not that you are going to talk to the custom officers and say that I'm carrying 10,000 when you are carrying over 50. The scanners will show the evidence. So it's important that we understand these things. And these measures, will help us to tame the flow of Forex and allow the normal systems to run. And then, of course, the other one which has been introduced in conjunction with other securities agencies, the multi-command center at the airport. So today, we have all the manifests of everybody traveling. So when you are going in and when you are coming out. So when the customs officers stop you, it's not random. You have risk profile you. You know the number of bags you took away. You know the number of bags you are coming with. So that will tell us, okay, you went with 1 bag, you are coming with 10 bags. Are you carrying dutiable goods or not? Did you carry more than money that you didn't declare? So that is at the moment working. So if you buy your ticket 24 hours before you fly, we get to know. And when you are coming and you check in online, we get to know you are going to fly. And we know the bags that are. So this is open, don't be afraid. So it's working right at the airport. So we are using these AI tools and technology as data point and insight to drive revenue mobilization and to manage government policy. So it's important that these things have taken place and they are working. But also importantly in the VAT area, since 2028, we have what we call the Fiscal Electronic Devices Act. So it's supposed to be the technology arm to help us implement VAT. Unfortunately, we've not done it. 2026, we are going to get up, go out there, and just do it. So the third implementation is on its way. We've already done some work on it. By Q1 of 2026, the selection process would have taken place and want to go live by Q2 of 2026. So all retailers, you are going to sell through a Fed technology. So those of you who travel to Dubai, you get to the shop, and whatever you are buying, you buy through the EPOS or the Fed. That's how it happens. And when you are coming back to Ghana and you want to claim your VAT, you get to the airport, you show your passport, and all your purchases are there. So this is the way we are going. So that once you purchase, GRA knows what you have purchased, the shops. So at the end of the month, you are not coming to tell us you didn't make any sales. We will know. And then we'll do. The second phase is really to intervene. So as soon as the consumer pays, you take your money, GRA takes its VAT. So this is the way we are going with technology. We are also at the moment piloting what we call a digital economy tool, because online businesses are growing. And we have businesses outside the country who are selling a lot into this country, but you don't get the benefit of the VAT. So today we are working with Bank of Ghana and the financial intermediation, and we are piloting a tool. So at the point of payment, so let's say you order something on Amazon. At the point of payment, that technology will intervene, take the taxes that is due to Ghana, and allow the money that is due to Amazon to go. So again, this is revolutionary, and all of these measures are going to help us improve. So you see that government action is really not to introduce new taxes. Government action is to create efficiencies in the way we employ the existing taxes. And that way, we believe that we can generate a lot of revenue to support the agenda of government. And the last one before I move on, it's important for me to mention as I stand here, is a modified taxation scheme. So a number of times we have said that the informal sector is huge in Ghana, but contribution to tax is low. So we have introduced what we launched it about 2 weeks ago, the modified taxation scheme. If your income is not above $500,000, you qualify to be in this scheme for individuals and sole proprietor businesses. You pay a flat rate of 3%, and that's all the income tax you pay. So let's take, for example, if you are earning 25,000 Ghana cedis the whole year, then all the tax you pay is 750. Is this not affordable? Can't Ghanaians do this? If you are earning 25 and your contribution to national development is 750 Ghana cedis, this is something that we should all jump up to and do it. If you are earning 200,000, all you pay is 6,000 Ghana cedis. 6,000 Ghana cedis. So let me appeal to all our informal sector operators, artisans, the creatives, and everybody who is doing business out there. This is the tax for you. This is an opportunity to contribute to national development. Earn $500,000 or below, pay 3%, and that's all that we are asking from you. And we've also made it simpler. You register through an app, so you don't need to move from where you are. On your smartphone, you register. On your smartphone, you can pay with Momo, through bank account, any other channel. And immediately also get your receipt. If you are going any place, they ask for your tax clearance certificates on the same app, you can show it. So for our informal sector, this is the tax for you to contribute to national development. So we'll be doing more education on it and want to encourage all of you to support us to make sure, because our estimate is that if this works, within the next 3 years, we should be generating about 40 billion Ghana cedis through the modified taxation scheme alone. And that is significant for revenue mobilization. So having talked a lot more about taxation, let me just reference back in terms of within the overall context. So you see that within the budget, in terms of preparedness to grow and to transform, and as Director Arke said, government has prioritized key major infrastructure projects. And we believe that all of us, those in government, in private sector, we must work together to make sure that we implement and it happens. The investment in the power plant is transformation. The Accra-Kumasi Expressway is transformational. The investment in oil palm, transformational. If the oil palm succeeds, we are significantly diversifying Forex sources. We are not only going to depend on gold, cocoa, and other non-traditional, but palm is going to be a variation. And you know how the world works. Commodity prices can change all the time. Today, we are enjoying all the high rising in gold. Tomorrow, gold goes down. Cocoa and palm should be able to stand for us. So this is visionary under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and anchored by the hard-working Ato Forcing, who is actually forcing. But all of these are going to be possible if you pay that your 750 Ghana cedis on your 25 income, or you pay your 6,000 on your 200 income, because we need money to finance this project. They are not just visionary, they will lead to growth. So if you have stable power, if you create the opportunities in oil, palm, and expressway, they lead to businesses and growth. And of course, once they are growing, jobs will be created, incomes will be uplifted, and totality of it all will lead to transformation. So ladies and gentlemen, let me now try to read what is before me. So the private sector, of course, will continue to remain an engine of growth, and GRA will continue to strengthen partnership with businesses, tax professionals, and civil society. We want to be collecting the tax smiling. So voluntary compliance is the way to go. So for us as GRA, within the context of growth, job creation, and transformation, we are targeting 2026 as a year of compliance. Let us voluntarily comply so that we can build Ghana together. As I am saying, not to shock you, in conclusion, a modern revenue system must be fair and trusted. GRA is committed to transparent enforcement, predictable processes, and respect the taxpayer. The expected operationalization of the Independent Tax Appeal Board, which I didn't mention. So the Independent Tax Appeals Board has been on a drawing board for 5 years. I'm happy to announce that under the leadership of the Minister of Finance, working with GRA, the regulations for Independent Appeals Board has been passed. So today, if you have dispute with GRA, all of us need not go and wait at the court for 3, 4, 5 years. Government is not getting the money. You are not getting your tax matter resolved. And if you are not lucky and the judge gives the ruling to GRA, the interest is waiting. We will collect it. So Independent Appeals Board regulations has been passed, and we're working with them to operationalize it. So again, we are investing in the staff development, ethics, and digital skills to ensure that GRA, as we relate with the business community, we reflect the sense of professionalism and integrity. The 2026 national budget represents a pivotal moment in Ghana's economic journey. It challenges us to reset growth, to reset jobs, and to reset for transformation. So we stand ready to support this agenda as GRA with discipline, with innovation, and investment in our people, and investment in the right technologies. As citizens or a taxpayer, and I just want to emphasize this, your duty, 1, is to know the taxes you must pay, 2, dutifully pay the taxes, and 3, let us build Ghana together. Let's move forward, let's strengthen our systems, uphold fairness, and build an economy that offers opportunity for every Ghanaian and resident. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wow. Anthony Sarpong is the acting, can you applaud him one more time? Commissioner General.